Well, good morning. Today is Sunday, July 25th, 10th day on the PCT Southbound. Not even going to tell you what time it is, and I just started. Let's put it this way, it's closer to lunch than breakfast. I slept 10 hours. Holy crap. Actually, might have been longer than that. But it is completely socked in with smoke. Just past the Nobo. We actually didn't even trade names, but he was telling me he lives in Truckee, where I'm heading next stop, and he said, I knew there was a fire in South Lake, Tahoe. I didn't know how bad it was. Well, he said basically we're in between two fires, and all the smoke, we're just like caught in it. I mean, that's not rain clouds. That is pure smoke. And again, I still can't smell because of COVID, so that part of it doesn't bother me. But yeah, I am plugged up, eyes burning, a little congested. So I was going to show my non-hiking friends some of the stuff you have to do with the trail. Is about, I don't know, 2/10 of a mile back up the mountain. And you have to take these paths. There is a spring down here. I think it was Bear Spring. So you have to walk down off trail, of course, to the spring. So there, that is gold. I don't know where the actual spring starts, but sometimes you can catch it where it's coming right out of the ground, and hell, you don't even have to filter it because it's clean, but I can see a path, so it's actual beginning of the spring somewhere else. So this was my first, I knew this was here, so I saved about 1 liter of water to get here this morning. And then I got another 4 miles to the next, I think it's a creek or river. And after that, it's about 14 miles without water. And then, of course, you have to collect it in these bags, and then I filter it into my water bottles. And on this one I had to scoop. This is a water bag I used to scoop the water because it was so low. I had to look how green all this is down here where the spring is. I'm sure that's an animal trail right there coming down to it. But anyway, I got to get back to hiking. Just trying to give you an idea. And there's a trail back to our trail. Well, it's about 1:30. Not a lot to report. I heard car go by well, just a few minutes ago. So I must be getting near a road, and I think that's where that bridge is that you go by, that the creek is at. So, must be getting close. Had a big old buck jump out in front of me on the trail. These weren't like the deer back in Bernie or north of Bernie. This thing didn't want anything to do with me. I just barely saw it fly across the trail. And that's it. It's been a walk in the woods today. Hell, there's a cabin. Wow. Looks like a hunting cabin. It's kind of through the trees that won't show. But I guess that's about it. No scenery shots today. It is complete white out with smoke. Well, here's supposedly the swimming hole. I don't think I'll be swimming in there, but I can get water. I think this is the last water till for about 14 miles. So I do have to get it and drink a crap load. Figure out, I guess, get it over here. Yeah. So I left the creek, and I kept, when I was sitting there filtering my water, boats were coming by, crossing the bridge, campers. So I started reading the notes. You can't see it, unfortunately. There's a giant reservoir lake down there, and it said you could hike down there a quarter-mile to the campground and camped. Of course, they have pit toilets, and said all the campers were giving them food at night and swim, of course. But I can hear them down there hooping and hollering all the way up here. Well, it's about 3 o'clock, about 2.5 miles from that last water source. And I've been going uphill for the last hour, but it's not steep. It's just this gradual PCT climb, which is not bad today. Yeah, I calculated last night in that tent, that mountain I climbed last night or yesterday evening. It was 4.5 miles, and it took me 3 hours. That's how steep it was, and it wore me out. That's why I slept 10, I think it was 11 hours actually. But I ran into a Nobo couple. I was thinking in my head, I probably won't be seeing them anymore. Hilo and his wife, I don't think she said her name. They were 61 and 60, and they had done the whole trail so far. And I asked them what plans were for the fire to get around it, and they said, we've made arrangements when we get to Sierra City. Whew, I'm still going uphill. That they were skipping up to Oregon. So they've had enough smoke, fires, heat. I don't blame them. And they told me about this other fire a little bit. There is about I might have said this earlier, 30-mile section of the trail closed around South Lake Tahoe. That's a few days, several days off. Finally got to the top of the mountain. Here's the view. I'm sure it would be beautiful. This mountain right there is all rock. And we got some rocks right here to go through. It's gonna be your only view for the day. Well, it's about 4 o'clock. Man, I guess I've been going slow again. Still hadn't made that water source. That's only 6 miles for the day. But I just took a long break on a log right before I got to that opening, the pass. Man, that was a shame too. There was like views on both sides up there. And some of the mountains were rocks. Looked beautiful for what I could see. But anyway, this young girl, Nobo, comes up when I was on break. And we were talking quite a while. I took about a 30-minute break. She was telling me about she was going to camp back here, and it sounds like where I'm going to camp. And she said, I kept seeing all these guys in camo. She said it was freaking me out. They had bows. They must be bow shooting. But I guess it's early bow season here in California, I guess. But hell, they're in velvet right now. But whatever. I said, well, they're just hunters. I said, they're outdoors people too. She said, yeah, but it just started freaking me out. There were so many of them. She said, you saw the movie Wild, didn't you? Because if you didn't see that, hell, that was back, I don't remember, 70s, 80s. She had a bad encounter. Supposedly with some hunters. I don't think they were hunters, though. Like a couple crackheads in the movie. But anyway, I got to get this next water source and find somewhere to camp in the dirt, in the black dust. All right, see you, bye. All right, I just got to the last water source, and I just ran into some cool hikers. So if you don't mind, give me your trail name, where you're from.
I'm Commissioner. I'm from Renton, Washington.
Yeah.
Librarian from New Jersey.
Librarian.
Falcor from Desert Hot Springs, California.
And originally from Kentucky.
Yes, from Kentucky.
And he knows Sean Alexander, one of the great running backs of Alabama. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
All right, quick update. Probably about 5:30. I've got about another 1.5 miles to these tent sites. I met the coolest hikers, Nobos, down at that last water source. It was about 4:30. So we chatted for, hell, it had to be about 30 minutes. They were resting, drinking water. So I said, where are you guys going tonight? So they've been hiking all day. They said, oh, we're going to get into Sierra City tonight. That's where I started a day and a half ago. So they got another 17, 18 to hike tonight. And they're doing the same thing as me, or like everybody. Sierra City to Bernie, skipping the fire. So as I've been mentioning all day in my videos, I just been steadily climbing uphill all day. And I don't know if you can see the trail, but I got to climb back up there, and it's just, you can't tell, but it's uphill slowly. So I checked these campsites. So I spent the night at 6,500 last night, went down this morning to about 52, and I've been climbing ever since. This campsite's at over 8,000 feet. Check it out. Is that blue skies I see? A lot of the smoke blew out. Of course, I'm up about 7,800 feet right now. Got about, I've been going up all day. Less than a mile to get to the first campsite. And if it's anything decent, I'm stopping, because the next one still got to climb another mile past to get to it. So I'm calling it if it's pretty good. All right, I finally made it to camp. 1476.6, I think it was. The trail is right there. I came in here, I'm set up right there. Got a rock to sit on. And this ground is super soft, and I haven't put rocks in my stakes, but I did read several comments, this campsite and the next one, that there's a bear that comes in the campsites, but he's not like after your food or messing with you. He's eating. I can tell the ground's super soft. You can see where, like, it's digging for probably some kind of bug, but they're like holes all in here. But he's not after people or their food, so we're actually in his territory. But I can't not go any farther. I did, I think, right at 10 miles on the nose. Of course, about, I'd say 85% of it today was all uphill. Well, for dinner tonight, I'm having wild rice. It's got carrots, onions, green beans, corn, and some kind of bean. And then I added black bean flakes. Man, this is probably the best meal I've ever had. Forgot which company it was. I think it was Ready Wise.